check out BigBadToyStore.com for this and other great toys. No, why? Why bugs?
Hey, what's up YouTube land? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Generations Scrapnel and Reflector. So here we are, and there they are, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So here it is, you got a cool picture there of Scrapnel, it's shrapnel. And there you got Scrapnel Reflector, there you got Scrapnel here, look at the Decepticon, burger. On the back of the box, we have your obligatory product shots. You got your tech specs for Scrapnel, and you have your tech specs for Reflector. And of course you have your bio right there, if you would like to read it. And that's basically it for the packaging. So moving right along, here we have Scrapnel and Reflector. Now before we get to Scrapnel, we'll take a look at his little Target Master buddy, Reflector. So here is Reflector, and he is in his camera mode, which is pretty neat. And you got the black lens painted in there, and you know, it's not a whole lot of paint detail. It's just black, a little bit of black there, a little bit of purple, but that's more for the robot mode. And the peg here is done in purple, which is really stiff on mine. So you have that, and there are some molded details going on here. You can see little dials and buttons and whatnot. The flash is right there. So, you know, it gets across what it needs to get across. Now, of course, it does have the extremely difficult transformation of done. There we go. So there he is in his robot mode, and it looks like Reflector, or one of the robots of Reflector. And see if we can get in close here. It's a nice sculpt, you know, the head looks nice, got the visor painted in, a little bit of green painted in, a little purple there on the legs, you know, some nice details. Articulation-wise, you can only move his arms. You can rotate him 360, but the backpack kind of gets in the way. But he has articulated arms, and that's pretty much all the movement you're going to get out of him. And just for a comparison, here he is with Groundbuster. And you can see how they look together, just so you can get a sense of scale. So, there you have that. Now, the funniest thing, this is what the instructions tell you. Now, obviously, this is not really how it's supposed to go, but whoever made the instructions just did not know what they were doing, apparently. But in the instructions, the storage for this is literally bring down the peg, there's a port right there, and just plug it into his back. So just have Reflector laying on his back on top of a bug. Oh man. I mean, you could pretend that he's hurt and he's just like, you know, carrying him off. You know, I need a medic. I need a medic. Help me. You know, you could do that. But I think really what you're supposed to do, the actual proper way to store it, is to put him in his gun mode. Now, to put him in his gun mode, you're just going to take this bottom feet here, which are his feet. You're just going to bring that down, and this whole section here is spring-loaded, so once you bring that down, this will just flip out on its own. And now he's basically in his gun mode, and it looks like G1 Shrapnel's gun, which is pretty cool. So I think it's supposed to store like this, so he has a gun on his back, as opposed to a robot laying flat on his back. So I think that makes a lot more sense for storage. But hey, it is what it is. But I do like that they managed to replicate G1 Shrapnel's gun with Reflector. I think that's pretty cool. So then bring him back, just bring him up, flip that back up, lock it in place. And there you go. So there you have Reflector. So now we will focus on the main event here, which is Scrapnel. Now again, obviously it's Shrapnel, but for whatever reason, you know, legal reasons, they couldn't use the name, so they called him Scrapnel. Close enough, but yeah, here he is in his bug mode, and it's pretty cool. It looks really nice. There's no articulation in this mode. None of the bug legs move independently. These pieces can move, but that's more for transformation than anything else. But it's still nicely done. It looks really cool. And it does totally invoke G1 Shrapnel. Got the purple Decepticon symbol right there. And the yellow, they could have used... it would have been nice if he had gotten a second coat of that yellow, because you can kind of see here where the black is kind of bleeding through a little bit in some spots. Down here too, you can kind of see the black bleeding through. So it would have been nice if they had given the yellow a second coat, but it is what it is. But it's your typical Shrapnel colors, Insecticon colors, black, yellow, purple. It's all there. And like I said, no real articulation, but still pretty cool. And for comparison, here he is with tailgate. Just so you can get a sense of how he scales there. So, there you go. Take me for a ride! Take me for a ride! So, there you have that. So, let's get down to a transformation, shall we? So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the legs and you're going to untab them. Now, you see this tab right here. This tab right here just tabs into this slot right there. That's how you get that all lined up when you're putting them into bug mode. Just want to extend the legs, split them. You're going to take this panel here and shift it over to this cat hair everywhere. My God, it won't come off! God. So you're going to take this panel right here and you're just going to shift it to the side. Which on mine's a little stiff, but shift that to the side and then you can bring the foot up. There you have that. Second verse, same as the first. Just take this panel right here, shift it over to the side, like that. Bring up the foot. There you go. Then you want to take this whole crotch section here, just bring that up, and then bring the legs back down, and there you got the lower body done. You're going to come back here, you're going to untab the arms, and rotate them forward, like that, and then rotate the forearm at the elbow, so everything's oriented properly. Second verse, same as the first. Untab, swing forward, rotate, and you're done. Now this whole section here is on a double hinge. You're just going to take that and shift it down like that to reveal the head. You're going to take these bug legs here and just bring them back like that. Make sure all that's pressed in. Take the horns, bring them out, and there you have him in robot mode. And he looks really cool. This is neat. I really like this little guy. Getting close here on the head sculpt, you can see a very nice head sculpt there. Got some nice paint. And yeah, and all around, it is a very nicely done mold. If my camera will focus. There you go. It's a very nicely done mold. It looks really, really good. I am quite impressed with this. It's simple, but it really does a good job. I think, anyway. Now, articulation-wise, his head can rotate. It is kind of hard to get in there. You have to kind of grab him by this little mohawk he has up here. But his head can rotate. Shoulders are on a ball joint. The elbows are on a ball joint. Hips are on a ball joint. The knees are on a ball joint. Ball joints everywhere. And the feet can pivot up and down. So, you got some ball jointy goodness going on right there. And, of course, his little buddy reflector. Again, just fold this down, put him in the gun mode, and he can hold the weapon. And there he has his gun, right there. So, pretty neat, pretty neat. I really do like this guy. He's really cool. Now for comparison, here he is with tailgate, his wave mate here. You can see he's actually a little bit shorter than tailgate. So there you have that. And just because here he is with G1 Shrapnel, oh precious, he's actually taller. G1 Shrapnel is actually taller than Generation Shrapnel. But this one does look a bit cooler. Although this guy, I think, does still withstand the test of time. He is still a really good figure. Even 30 years later. I didn't do a bug mode comparison. I need to do a bug mode comparison. Hold on, wait a second. I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I didn't do a bug mode comparison with the G1 Shrapnel. I must rectify this injustice. I must. There he is. There he is in his bug mode. I'll put him back. He's easy enough to transform. Just boom, boom. Bring these out. Bring these out again. Rotate these in. There are tabs. Tabs right here. They'll plug in the slots right there on his forms. Just take them and just plug them in. Beep. And then beep. Can't believe I'm going to end up transforming him 3 times just for the sake of a comparison. But you know what? They don't care. They don't care. Just rotate these forward. Rotate these forward. Bag them together. Like that. Like I said before, this tab right here will end up tabbing into that slot right there. So just fold the legs up like that. And then tab it in. There you go. So now he's back in bug mode. Yay, bug mode. Okay, there we go. Comparison with G1 Shrapnel in his bug mode. Precious! Okay, sorry. But yeah, actually, it's actually still. It's actually still a little bit bigger. Kinda, sorta. Is it? Yeah. Actually, almost the same size. Almost. Pretty by a little bit. Beats him out by a little bit. But yeah, there you go. A tale of a scrapnel and a shrapnel right there. Now we gotta transform him back. Okay, so bring the legs down. Bring that down. Swing that out. Swing it out. Swing it out. This one gets stuck on mine. Come on, man. There we go. Bring it up. Swing up. Bring up. Swing out. Bring out. I'm out of my mind. What's happening here? This is not a review anymore. This is just insanity. But then again, when isn't it insanity, really? Okay, so he's back in robot mode. Final thoughts. He has a little dude that turns into a camera. Now, one thing to point out with the camera mode, obviously the peg for holding the camera is on top of the camera, so he would have to hold it upside down like that. And a lot of people, it does bug a lot of people, but a way to get around that is you can bring down Reflector's arms, and he can actually hold the arms. You can plug the arms in here, so he can actually hold the camera properly and take pictures. So, he still can't actually hold the camera mode properly and take some snapshots of people. He can record me while I'm recording him. That's creepy. That's creepy. Okay. He's watching me while I'm watching him. So, that's definitely one way to get him to hold the camera properly. But yeah, very cool. Very cool figure. I really like this guy. Reflector, he's simple, he's basic, there's not a lot to him, but, it's cool to have a little Reflector. And, yeah, very neat set. Would definitely recommend it. This guy's pretty cool, and I believe they are going to make a Bombshell also. I hope they make all 3. So, yeah, pretty cool. Can't go wrong with Insecticons. You can never go wrong with Insecticons as far as I'm concerned. So, I think that's pretty much it, so don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Transformers Generations Scrapnel and Reflector, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Alright, Shrapnel, I hear you're the best photographer we have, and I want these brochures to look good. Now, I want the picture to say, come, join the Decepticon army. We'll care for you here. But at the same time, I want it to say, if you cross me, I will rip you in half without a moment's hesitation. You think you can handle that? Okay, let's do this. I have a good feeling about this. This is going to be the best brochure ever.